Hello and welcome to the 10 biggest WTF moments in WWE history. Let's hit 500 likes and get right onto the list. Number 10, Brian Pillman's got a gun. Brian Pillman and Steve Austin were in the middle of a feud. In this segment, we saw Steve Austin break into Pillman's house before Pillman pulled a gun out on Austin, and the show cut to commercial when he was about to pull the trigger. The USA Network was furious because they were never told about any gun being used in this segment. Number 9, Al Snow eats his dog. Al Snow and Big Boss Man were in a room eating food together. Big Boss Man would then serve Al Snow his meal. What was the meal, you ask? It was Al Snow's dog, Pepper. But it wasn't actually his dog, but in kayfabe it was. Okay. This angle would lead to the horrible Kennel from Hell match between the two. Number 8, Little People's Court. PG era DX was the worst. DX inducted Hornswoggle into the group, but then they pedigreed him, or Triple H pedigreed him, and he was kicked out. Shawn Michaels and Triple H were then taken to Little People's Court by Hornswoggle. A court full of, well, little people. The judge was a little person, and all the jury were little people. What the fuck? Number 7, Hornswoggle is Vince's illegitimate son. Again, Hornswoggle, really? One of the worst storyline payoffs in WWE history. Vince McMahon was revealed to have an illegitimate son, and that son was Hornswoggle. It was originally meant to be Mr. Kennedy, but he violated the wellness policy. Thanks, Ken. Number 6, Mae Young gives birth to a hand. WWE aired a massive 5-minute long segment of Mae Young going into labor. Vince, please, there are children watching. And Mae Young gave birth to a beautiful young boy. Nope, she gave birth to a hand. This angle made no sense and was a real what the fuck moment. Number 5, Steve Austin turns heel. Stone Cold Steve Austin's heel turn at WrestleMania 17 made 0 sense. Steve Austin aligned himself with Vince McMahon after more than 3 years of feuding and hating each other and fighting in hospitals and putting poo on each other, and it made no sense, honestly. Number 4, Big Show surfs on a coffin. The Big Boss Man interrupted Big Show's dad's funeral and hooked the coffin of his dad onto his car. And then Big Show, of course, you know, what most people would do, would jump onto the coffin and lay there surfing on it. Well, not really surfing, but you get the idea. While Big Boss Man drive full speed ahead. Why am I a wrestling fan? Number 3, Katie Vick. And I'm sorry, but you knew that this would be on the list, and I've explained it so many times, but we have to do it once more. Basically, Kane once had a girlfriend called Katie Vick who died while the two were having sexual intercourse. Great start. Triple H shot an angle in which he had sex with a mannequin inside a coffin meant to represent Katie Vick. Necrophilia. Good stuff. Number 2, the Gobbledy Gooker debuts. One of the biggest anticlimaxes in WWE history came when the Gobbledy Gooker debuted. The Gobbledy Gooker was some kind of bird. He came out of an egg and everyone was disappointed. And you want to know something funny? At one point, Undertaker was the man planned to be the man in the costume of the Gobbledy Gooker. Wow, that's just weird to think about. That's really weird to think about. That's trippy. Number 1, Vince McMahon dies. Vince McMahon was walking to his limo, and here's a quick side note. While he was walking to his limo, Paul London smiled and got fired for it. Yeah. I thought I'd note that because that's also a what the fuck moment in its own right. Vince McMahon got into his limo and it exploded, and he was proclaimed dead. They even went as far as to hold a tribute show for him. What the hell? But the storyline came to an end when Vince McMahon had to return to address the real life death of Chris Benoit. Wait, who? Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, smack that like button, follow me on Twitter, check out my second channel, and buy a t-shirt. Goodbye and keep on rolling.